It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. We are here back in the studio in Landover for the first time in 2.5 years at the start of our 37th season. Thank you for being with us today, and we invite you to play along with the two outstanding middle schools here today to play our game. Let's meet them right now. From Greenbelt and Martin Luther King schools, let's go to Greenbelt and find out about this team. Would you please say hello to Violet? Violet, you can wave to everybody at home. Cassie is here also, and Livia. Wonderful team here. Last won the championship back in 2016, and our reigning middle school champ from Martin Luther King. Let's welcome today Bailey. Bailey, wave to everyone if you would. Nice to have you here. A wonderful player over there, as is Kelvin. Kelvin, nice to have you back on the team. And Ashi, good to have you here as well. You know, here on the Science Bowl, we have 6 categories of questions, and here they are.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty. Easier questions worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. We start our teams out with 50 points. We never deduct points, and they get 50 points just for showing up and looking as good as they do. And at the end of the 2 rounds, the team that is ahead will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to the quarter and semifinals. And maybe one of these teams will repeat as champion. Before we start, let's make sure everything's working properly. Violet, would you try that Greenbelt buzzer for us? Looks good. And let's make sure that the green team is ready to go too. Bailey, would you try the green teams? Looks like it is A-OK as well. Guys, good luck to you. And thank you for making history and getting back to where we once were. We go alphabetically, as I say, G before M. So Greenbelt and Violet, let's play the bowl.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Teams, is a multiple choice question. The best time to see noctilucent clouds, that's N-O-C-T-I-L-U-C-E-N-T, best time to see noctilucent clouds, which form high in the mesosphere with ice crystals inside, would you see them right at dawn, at high noon, or at night? Greenbelt.
At night.
At night. Nocti was the prefix there, as in nocturnal. That was your clue. You picked up on it. You got the first points. Go Greenbelt.
Let's get physical for 20 points.
Physical for 20 points. All right, teams. 3-part answer. The so-called Higgs boson particle, long sought by physicists, gives mass to all the other particles found in an atom. What are those 3 particles in the... Yes, Greenbelt.
Proton, electron, neutron.
I saw you nodding your head as everybody said one in order. Perfect. Nicely done. Go again.
Let's get physical for 25.
For 25, the big one in that category. Teams, you've all seen this. The apparent bending of a pencil in a glass of water. The reason why it looks bent and the reason why a penny on the bottom of a swimming pool is not exactly where it looks to be from the surface is because of this property. Martin Luther King.
Refraction.
It is refraction. That's it. All right. See some smiles over there. 25 points. Good. You're in the game. Go.
Let's go body systems for 15 points.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, Atlas, the mythical strongman who held up the world on his shoulders, is also the name of the top one of these bones that supports your head. Martin Luther King. Talk among yourselves, Greenbelt, in case I have to come to you. Bailey.
The vertebrae at the top of your spine.
That's exactly right. It is the top vertebra up there. The atlas and the axis is the one just beneath. Nice teamwork there, all of you. Go green. 5-point lead.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, there are a lot of plant-based milks on the grocery shelves today. You go to the dairy section. I'll give you 15 points if you can name 2 of, yes, Greenbelt.
Soy milk and almond milk.
Soy milk and almond milk and rice milk and oat milk and cashew milk. They're all over the place. You got 2. You got the points. Good. Go. You're up by 10.
Oh, science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, the question is as follows. It is actually a visual question. I'd like for you to look at the monitor in the studio, please. And you may recognize this. This cat can't resist rolling around in a plant called catnip, the leaves of which produce a strong chemical that keeps insects away. Bailey.
Citronella. Citronella.
Ooh, not citronella. No, good try. Let me finish the question for Greenbelt. Cats can't resist rolling around in a plant called catnip, which you see happening right there. The leaves of which produce a strong chemical that keeps insects away. Therefore, the chemical isn't an insecticide, but rather one of these.
An insect repellent.
A repellent, that's exactly that. Yeah, I think you were jumping ahead to maybe a specific chemical there, Bailey. Good comeback. Violet, go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Long before atomic and digital clocks were invented, the first mechanical clock was invented way back in 900 AD by a pope. Inside the clock was one of these devices that swings back and forth. Greenbelt.
A pendulum.
A pendulum, just like an old grandfather clock has. That's it. Good. Go again, red.
Body systems for 10.
Body system for 10 points. Teams, it was in movies like Doctor Strange that we first saw the scanning of this part of the eye for Greenbelt.
The iris.
Not the iris, good try. Martin Luther King, in movies like Doctor Strange, that was one of the first times we saw the scanning of this part of the eye for identification purposes.
The retina.
The retina, good comeback. Yes, indeed. Go green.
Body systems 20.
Body systems, 20 points. Teams, people who suffer from diabetes can have one of 2 types. Type 1 means you can't produce enough of, Bailey.
Insulin.
Insulin is right. Can't produce enough insulin. Type 2 means you can't use the hormone efficiently. You were way out ahead of me on that. The buzzer has rung, which means we have come to the end of the first round of competition. Our score is Martin Luther King 120, Greenbelt 135, a very close game. 6 elite students here playing our game. And before we ask any more science questions, a few personal ones. Let's go over to Greenbelt and find out about this Greenbelt team. I keep wanting to call this the green team because of your name over there. You are the red team today. Violet, tell us about Greenbelt Middle School. What do you like about that school?
Oh, well, it's a, we have a lot of programs that, for students, like band and chorus and orchestra, as well as STEM club and world languages.
Lots of things like that, yeah. You mentioned some of the musical organizations there. Do you play in the band? Are you in the chorus there at all?
I play flute in the band.
Nice, very nice.
I play piano in the jazz band.
Let me ask you who the principal is over there.
Our principal is Mr. Marcellus Clement.
Yeah, absolutely right. And your coach is Miss Pagunson. And as I was talking to you earlier, she is an outstanding teacher and coach. And I know you agree with me on that. A former Krista McAuliffe Teacher of the Year here. Tell me about yourself. I was talking to your parents earlier, and I know you're a runner. You do the park run on the weekends. And you just did something significant. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, last December I ran a half marathon in Rehoboth.
Congratulations. Do you have the Marine Corps Marathon in your sights someday?
Well, I'm not allowed to run a full marathon until I'm 18. So.
All right. Well, congratulations. You're a good captain here. And Cassie? Cassie. I'll get this right. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, when I'm not consumed by homework, I like to read, play the piano, Evening walks with my mom is nice. I like to crochet. Just a bunch of stuff to keep me busy and pass time.
Sounds like you're doing all the right things. Tell me the kinds of books you like.
I like to read fantasy books. I've gone into historical literature as well, which is very informative, and just anything I
Just
come
anything.
by.
And as I was saying to you earlier, you know, the students who do well on Science Bowl are readers, people who have a curiosity about the world and can lose themselves in books. And it sounds like you're doing that. Nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
Olivia, nice to have you here. Why'd you want to do this? Why'd you want to be on the Science Bowl? We're glad you decided to be here.
Yeah, so I like to read a lot, and I just have all this information, and I also like playing trivia. You know, it's a game. So, I mean, Science Bowl's a mix of both.
It is. It certainly is. Some people have told me this is like Jeopardy for kids here, you know, and it is. It has that feel to it. But you don't have to answer, you know, the same way they do on Jeopardy, even though some people like to try to do that. What do you want to do someday, Olivia?
Maybe get a degree in psychology or physics. Both seem very interesting to me. So.
I can tell you've got a discipline about yourself. You're going to be successful, whatever you want to do. All right, let's find out about that MLK team over there. Bailey, do you feel the weight of history? Do you feel the weight of being a reigning champ here?
A little bit, but I mean, ultimately it's just a game, so
It
it's
is
just
just
trying
a
our
game.
best.
It is just a game. But you know, it's an experience.
Yeah.
And you're here. What we really like is for you to learn something, but we also like knowing what you know. And the people watching have to be amazed at all the answers you can come up with so very quickly. I was asking Violet what she liked about Greenbelt. MLK, there are lots of things to like there. What do you like about it?
I like that MLK has a lot of extracurricular programs for us to do, as well as a good instrumental music program, which...
Very nice. Are you in the instrumental program?
I am. I play clarinet.
Clarinet. So we have flutists here, a flautist, a clarinetist over there. I remember played the oboe when I was in high school. It was, yeah, great experience, great experience. The principal at Martin Luther King?
Is Miss Robin Prince.
Absolutely right. And your wonderful coach is Miss Butler, and a lot of you say that she is your favorite teacher. She has been part of, this is our 37th year, I think Miss Butler, not to age her, she's been with us for at least 20 years, maybe more than that. We couldn't do it without her. She's just a terrific young lady. She is a terrific young lady. She is. Tell me about your future goals, Bailey. What do you want to do?
My goal is to become a volcanologist at some point, and if I decide that's not for me, maybe become a teacher.
Wonderful. Why volcanology?
I've always just found it interesting and it's exciting, so why not try to do something fun?
It's dramatic. It's a dramatic thing. I can see why you're interested in that. Ashi, you're a tennis player and you're into all kinds of sports. Do you want to be a professional someday?
Although it is a bunch of my hobbies, I think I'm more into the medical field. I would like to be a neurologist.
Neurology, the brain is, we will never completely understand it, you know, but we can't stop trying. Nice to have you on the show today. And Kelvin, nice to have you back. Kelvin, what do you like about the Science Bowl? It's nice to see you come back again.
I just really like trivia and I like science, and they go really well together. I've also been just doing it for a while, so I'd like to win my last year of being able to do it.
So it's your last year competition. You're an 8th grader, right?
Yep.
So you want to go out with a trophy and a medal. I feel you. You're a competitive guy, and you're such a good player, too. All right, let's get back into that game. Our score, 135 Greenbelt, 120 for Martin Luther King. Last correct answer came from the red team. So Greenbelt and Violet, start us out. Lots of points to give away yet.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points, the big one in that category. It is now thought that dinosaurs were homeothermic, meaning they were warm-blooded, because fossilized bones contained oxygen, which indicated that this M initial process in the body was generating heat. Dinosaurs had, yes.
Metabolism?
You got it. Nicely done. Good assist there from Cassie. Wonderful. Get yourself 25 points. That gets you, pads your lead. Go. You're 40 points up. Violet.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points is a two-part answer. This oldest of America's national parks, recently damaged by flooding, is home to the country's largest number. Martin Luther King.
Yellowstone?
And?
Supervolcano?
Yeah, supervolcano.
Not quite. Good try. Greenbelt, the oldest of America's national parks, recently damaged by flooding, is home to the largest number of the country's spouting water jets due to volcanic activity. Name the park and the spouting water.
Yellowstone and geysers.
Geysers was the second part I needed. Good try over there. Go again, Red.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline, 20 points. After missing from the Cambridge Library in England for over 20 years, the notebooks of this famous scientist were just returned anonymously. The scientist who famously drew up a tree of life and is associated with evolution. Greenbelt.
Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin, absolutely. You were right on that one. Perfect. Go.
Dateline Science for 25.
Big one in that category. All right, 195 to 120. All right, King, let's get this one. 25-pointer in 1793. President George Washington and his cabinet had to flee Philadelphia, our country's first capital, because of our country's first epidemic, one spread by mosquitoes with a color in its name. Martin Luther King.
Yellow fever.
You got it, Kelvin. You got it, man. Perfect. 25 points. Yellow fever it is. Go. Green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Interesting question. Plants protect themselves from environmental hazards like insects and drought and heat by producing something called salicylic acid, also known to us humans as this most common of pain-relieving pills.
Advil.
Again?
Advil.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
Judges? We're going to give you that. Yes, absolutely right. We would have taken that or aspirin or Tylenol. Any of those is correct. Good. Go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Scientists have discovered that over 7,000 years ago, olive trees underwent this process of being brought from the wild onto farms to be cultivated. King.
I want to say migration. No.
Not migration. Greenbelt, these olive trees that went from wild to being on farms where they were cultivated, this happened 7,000 years ago. It was a process. It's the same term that describes the taming of wild animals that became farm animals and pets.
Domestication.
Absolutely. That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah, you knew that. Excellent answer. Go. Greenbelt.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Fairly easy. Get ready on your buzzers. The name of the large muscle at the front of your leg.
Hamstring.
Not hamstring. Good try. The name of the large muscle, Greenbelt, at the front of your leg, since it has 4 points of attachment, 4 heads, is not the biceps. It's not the triceps. It's this.
The quadriceps.
Quadriceps. That's exactly what I wanted. Nice try, King. Go. You're still in the lead. Go, Greenbelt.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The clouds that surround this planet, making it one of the hottest in the... Yes, King.
Mercury.
Not Mercury.
Jupiter.
No.
Jupiter.
Greenbelt. The clouds that surround this planet, making it one of the hottest in the solar system, contain sulfuric acid and smell like rotten eggs.
Venus.
Venus is correct answer. Absolutely. Yeah, you had to decide, is it Venus or is it Mercury? One of the two closest to the sun there. But there are no clouds around Mercury. All right, go red. Yes, ma'am.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade, 15 points. Before going into hibernation, bears engaged in something called hyper, H-Y-P-E-R, phagia, F-H-A-G-I-A, meaning they do what?
They eat a lot.
They eat a lot, they sure do. They bulk it up there, Kelvin. They're ready for hibernation. Good, go.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade 20. On the animated TV show Wild Kratts, K-R-A-T-T-S, one episode featured the Kratt brothers helping to save the scales of this only scaled mammal from being used to make smoothies.
The armadillo.
No, good try, good try. This only scaled mammal. On the Wild Kratts, they were saving the scales from it because they were being used by people to make smoothies.
Pangolin?
Pangolin is absolutely right. The most trafficked animal on Earth. It is in danger of extinction. Nice comeback there, Violet. Go red.
Zoo parade for 25.
Super 8 for 25 points. Despite its name, the vampire squid is not a bloodthirsty killer, but a slow-moving one of these 8-legged sea.
Spiders. It's crab. Spiders.
Not quite, not quite. The vampire squid is a slow-moving one of these 8-legged sea-initialed invertebrates like the octopus.
Cephalopod?
It is a cephalopod. Excellent work. Excellent. Thank you, Olivia, for your assist on that. Go again, please. We're down to the last couple questions. 5 and 10 pointers. Go, Violet.
Science potpourri for 10?
Potpourri for 10 points. Question is as follows. This is very strange. Because the shaft of the hair on some kids is so grooved, their hair looks like a messy, puffy dandelion. They are part of a symptom, a syndrome, where you can't do this to that hair.
Detangle
Bailey.
it?
You can't tame it?
Detangle it.
No, come on. You can't do what to it?
You can't comb it?
You can't comb it, that's right. You can't disentangle it with a comb. Boy, what a horrible thing to have, huh? Go. Green. Good answer.
Super 8 for 10.
Super 8 for 10. Here we go. Look at the picture on your monitor. It's a visual question. The state fish of Hawaii, a triggerfish with the long name of Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a, can disguise itself by doing what same thing as chameleons can do.
Camouflage.
Bailey?
Camouflage.
And how do they do that?
By, they change their color.
They change their color. That's what I need to hear. Good. Green, go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10. Recently, at the Triadelphia Reservoir in Montgomery County, which is a lake, there was an outbreak of cyanobacteria that can sicken people and animals if they drink the water. Cyanobacteria is another name for the blue-green version. Violet?
Algae?
Algae, that's right, blue-green algae. You girls are on your game. Go, please.
Dateline science for 10?
Dateline for 10 points. Last summer, people in England were putting their socks, get this, they put their socks in the freezer before they put them on because they were trying to keep cool on the hottest day ever recorded in the United Kingdom. It was 40 degrees on this scale.
Celsius?
Celsius as equivalent 104 Fahrenheit. Next.
Dateline science for 5?
Dateline for 5 points. When botanists were able to get a plant to grow in soil from this otherworldly place, they said, that's one small stem for man.
Moon.
The moon is right. One giant leap for plant science. Thank you, Kelvin. Good, go.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. If you're having a group discussion, and there's a topic no one wants to mention, but everybody is thinking about it, the topic is often referred to as one of these pachyderms in the room.
Elephant.
It's the elephant in the room, that's right, that no one wants to talk about. Go.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. This same word means the liquid part of your blood, a kind of flat screen TV.
Plasma.
Plasma, you got it, Bailey. All right, where?
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. If you're caught, this would not happen to you. If you're caught taking something, and there's no doubt you did it, it's said that you have been caught red what? Yeah, that's right, you caught red-handed. All right, that buzzer says our game is over.
Hi.
Hi. Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Well, today it was a tour de force on the part of both of our teams here. You were probably finding it hard to keep up because these teams did so well today. We are proud of each and every one of them. Look at that score today. It is Greenbelt 320, Martin Luther King 215 points. Let's have a round of applause for everybody for such excellent play here today. And as you can see, this is not just what you see here with the teams themselves. There are people behind the scenes. There are alternates here. There are coaches. And Violet, would you be good enough to tell us who you brought with you today?
Our coaches, Dr. Pitt and Ms. Pagunson, our assistant principal, Ms. Sims, and our 2 alternates, Eobed and Nusaiba.
Thank you all for being here today, for all the support you gave to these 3 young ladies here, and congratulations. Congratulations, too, to Martin Luther King, our defending champ. Bailey, you and your teammates did a terrific job here today. Tell us who you brought with you.
So today, outside of the 3 of our main team we had playing, our 2 alternates were Lucas and Bilal, and of course we have Miss Butler with us
The one
as
and
well.
only, absolutely right. Yes, and Mr. Pitt, nice to have you here because you used to be over there at Rogers Heights, yes? Yes, you jumped ship and we're glad to have you here. Nice to have you with us today, too, and hope you join us again for more Science Bowl. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on social media, and stay with us all year long. Again, it's just great to be back, and we appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time. I'm Dave Zarin. Until then, bye-bye.